Let's go to Rachel Parsons, because we need to talk about what's going on and how the antis can possibly find a positive side to what's going on the border in Texas. Rachel, dig me out of this. Help me out here. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. Just as they have done every previous year, anti-gunners are capitalizing on the crime and the violence in Mexico to disintegrate your Second Amendment freedoms. Now they are, the gun ban crowd is blaming criminal activity in a foreign country on American gun laws. This isn't anything new, but this is just a new tactic that they're taking. They want to reinstate that assault weapons ban that President Clinton instated in 1994. And that ban failed miserably at reducing crime, but President Obama and his administration are interested in bringing that back up.
Yeah, I read some of this, and it said that the far left antis are blaming the American gun stores for selling machine guns and RPGs. Now, I just want to ask a question, just one question. What gun store can you go into and walk into the counter and say, oh, listen, I'd like to have that pretty red RPG over there and 3 of those pink machine guns? Oh, where does that happen?
Well, it doesn't. Fully automatic firearms have been heavily regulated since 1934. That's not what the assault weapons ban would address anyway. Now, let's give credit where credit's due. The anti-gun lobby has done an amazing job at lying to the American public in believing that an assault weapons ban would address machine guns. It doesn't. It doesn't address machine guns. It doesn't address military-style firearms. It addresses semi-automatic rifles, and that is it. So what this is just another ploy to fool the American public and play on the emotions to make people think it's okay to give up their constitutional freedoms.
Yeah, and we need to get that truth out there, and that's why I made a big deal out of pink and red guns and RPGs, because you can't buy them anyways. That's a ridiculous speech by anyone on the far left side, and I'm glad that we were able to clear that up a little bit. Let me ask you another question, though. I have heard, and I'm out here in California, I've had a number of people come up to me and say, is there a bill that's going to restrict the sale of the amount of ammunition one can purchase either from a store or from another individual?
There is not federally, but in California, it's Assembly Bill 962. And what this bill would do would make it a crime to transfer more than 50 rounds of ammunition per month without being a registered ammunition vendor.
Well, that's that's an assembly bill, so we've got a long way for it to go, and I'm sure that we're working on that one. That's where we are with that right now, just an assembly bill.
It is an assembly bill. Again, we have our finger on the pulse of it, making sure it's not going anywhere. But this one's a little ridiculous. You wouldn't even be able to transfer more than 50 rounds. 50 rounds. I mean, come on, even to your friends and family.
Now, that's where it really gets ridiculous, because number one, how are you going to control that? And if I'm reloading, I mean, this gets really complicated. It sounds like something very stupid again that was brought up in California, and that's where we are. But it's Cal-Left-fornia, that's why I call it that. But I don't know how this one got legs and got started, and I'm not even sure who's responsible. But do you happen to know who's responsible for that?
I do. It's Assembly Member Kevin DeLeon.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the thing about this one is that it does absolutely nothing to reduce crime. This is not targeting the criminal element. And that's the problem with all of these gun laws, is that they're simply not targeting the criminal element. They're putting more restrictions on law-abiding people, thinking somehow that criminals are going to cooperate, and that simply doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's right. Those bills like that are actually targeted towards us.
And
that's ridiculous.
You'll follow the laws, but you're not the ones committing the crime, so it really does nothing at all but chip away at your Second Amendment freedoms.
Okay, very good, Rachel. Do you have any other burning issues for us this morning that we should cover? That we missed you. We missed you last week.
I'm just happy to be back.
Excuse me?
I'm just happy to be back.
Okay.
And I have something very important to do, which is my NCAA pool. So I've got to rush off and make sure I get that in on time, so I can win the money.
Well, it's nice to have you back, Rachel, and everybody else appears on the chat room here to be happy that you're back as well. We'll see you again next week.
See you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.